He went through practice today and seemed to do well. So I think I don't know if he'll be listed as questionable tomorrow or not. There's a chance he will be, depending on how he feels in the morning. But so far, he's doing well.
Same kind of idea, but James had the back injury on Saturday. Everything good with that? Seems like he looks okay here.
Yeah, he's come out of that fine. Did a lot of work on it Saturday night, Sunday. He did most everything yesterday and was doing better today. So.
Carlisle likes to run. LaMelo Ball is crazy with the ball in transition. What kind of challenges do you feel like they'll present you guys tomorrow?
Yeah, Ball's a great player. They got a lot of talented guys on that team. Rozier is, can really get going. Hayward's due to play again soon. We may see him tomorrow. They got a lot of good players. They played well last night, so I think their record is very deceiving. So it's a tough game. It's a team we've had problems with. Last year didn't play well against them at all. So we're going to have to do better.
What's different in them just as they're getting back to closer health? What are some things that you see them do that maybe you weren't seeing in games when they weren't 100%?
Well, health has a lot to do with it. They haven't had Ball for the whole year. He's just played the last 2 games, and when a guy comes back from missing 8 or 9 games, the first game there's going to be rust. The second game he's going to do better. The third game is usually when things really start clicking. So the third game's tomorrow. So we got to be ready, and he changes a lot for them. So he just he connects their team. He gets guys shots. He can score. He bombs in long threes. He makes floaters. He's just a really terrific player.
In what ways do you benefit the most to having TJ kind of back in the fold after missing most of last year?
Oh gosh, well, just our overall team competitiveness goes up several notches, when he's available and playing every night. And I really feel like the same can be said for Miles. We just, without those 2 guys, it was a whole different ball game last year. So, and they both obviously done well this year, and it's really helped us.
Do you see him as someone, especially with so many young guys, can kind of help guide them and be a nice little asset in that way as well?
Well, TJ,
yeah.
Talking about? Yeah. TJ's a natural mentor. He's just he's a giver by nature. I think everyone assumes he's going to coach. I do, and so he's been great with the younger guys, and Miles has too. He's a guy that's it wasn't that long ago as he was one of the real young guys. And even though he's in his 8th year, he's 26, so he's in a unique spot, to help impact, younger guys on a team like ours. So both those guys really have helped our young guys. But McConnell he's just a very unique player, competitor, person, all that kind of stuff.
Is there anything the film showed you from O'Shea, the added juice, the presence that he had when he came in, and maybe part of a group that really changed the game?
Well, he's kept himself physically and mentally prepared to play. That's the thing. Guys at times get discouraged when they're not playing, and they can kind of lose their mental focus. But he's maintained an edge. He's been in here a lot on off days. He's continued to work, study film, all that kind of stuff. And when opportunity presents itself, if you've prepared and done the work, it gives you a great chance to succeed. And that's what happened with him. So, I'm really impressed with the way he's done that, and it sets a great example for all the guys on our team.
I did full practice today. I think sitting out yesterday was more like cautionary and just giving my body another day to rest. But
No concerns for tomorrow?
Nah.
Speaking of that rest, to have one game in a week, I mean, it's very rare in the NBA. Do you feel energized?
Yeah. I feel good. I mean, other than my ankle, but that just tells us that we got a lot of games coming up, and the grind's about to really start. So, kind of the calm before the storm, if you want to call it that.
With that grind coming up, you'll need everybody, and you'll see different rotations. But that group that started the fourth quarter, I maybe asked you on Saturday, what was special? What clicked? Especially having probably not played a lot together.
I think just the energy we brought, getting enough stops and playing in transition, that allowed us to do some things. And I don't even know if that 5-group lineup has ever played together. But we just got guys that have to be prepared and have to fall into different roles when they're needed and be ready to go. So I thought guys did a good job, and that group did a good job helping us win that game.
It seems like you often would maybe come out with a couple minutes to go in the third quarter and sit out the start of the fourth. So what led to you checking in? Do you recall to start the fourth?
I begged because I think I wasn't going to come out in the third. If I didn't roll my ankle, I have to go to the back. So when I came back, I just begged for them to let me start the fourth, and they did. So good things happen, I guess.
Good to have that relationship with Rick, though, that you can do something like that.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's with the whole staff, too. Just that they have the trust in me to be able to do that. And, it's trial and error. I'm sure if it didn't work and we lost that game, I don't know if begging would work the next time. So, just glad it worked out well.
I don't know if you have individual goals, per se, of numbers of assists, but to see right now, you look at the league leaders and you're number one. How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel good, but I can't do it without these guys making shots. They make me look a lot better than I am, and I got a lot of guys playing with a lot of confidence, and just playing in the flow of basketball. I'm not really worried about those assist numbers. They just come naturally how I play basketball. So just really excited for our guys. The way they're playing.
At what point did that kind of 10 assist number become a goal? Was that before this year?
Yeah, probably when maybe I'd probably say when I got to Indy, that all last year I felt like that's something that I'm very capable of as a lead guard. So just feels like a number that's worth shooting for.
We see your relationship kind of brotherly with Buddy. What is it with TJ?
Pretty similar. I would say Buddy is more like Buddy and me communicate a lot through bickering, and that's just how we communicate. I think me and TJ just have a good relationship where we're always joking, always messing around, and he's got a lot of trust and faith in me, and I do in him as well. So I think we just get along really well.
Do you see any similarities between your and LaMelo Ball's skill sets?
I think we're both just tall guards, tall pass-first guards that can do multiple things on the floor, and I think we're both obviously two great young guards in this league, but kind of where the future of the point guard position is heading, and that is tall, lanky guards that can do multiple things. So I guess I do see the similarity in us being in the same draft class. I think we're going to be mentioned in the same company, same sentences for a pretty long time.
Is it unique then to try to defend that?
For defenses, you're saying? Yeah.
For you, even Wednesday against Charlotte, just defending it.
Yeah. I think there's similarities in the sense that these guys play against. My teammates play against me every day, so it's pretty similar in our skill sets, and we both can score the ball at all three levels and facilitate, and we both like to push the pace. So very similar for our team, and I think that hopefully that helps us going into Wednesday.
So that pace question, is there a situation where you would want to maybe slow them down a little bit, or is it you play your game and they adjust?
I like to fight fire with fire, so I don't like to change up how we play compared to other teams. If they want to play fast, that plays into how I want to play. So that's fun. That's fun for me, and I'm trying to get up and down. So I'm looking forward to it.
Speaking of that, what did Saturday tell you about this team's ability to play fast when other teams don't want it to? Teams want to slow you down, your ability to still get there.
Yeah, we're going to do that, I think, regardless. It doesn't matter. Guys pick up full court. They can do that all they want. We got multiple ball handlers, so if you pick up full, we're going to get out in transition and just play that way. Other guys are going to bring it up. But, you guys see dead balls, the ball rolls to the crowd. I'm sprinting to get the ball so we can get the ball back in play. I'm 22, so I got fresh legs. I just want to run. So that's just kind of think part of who I've always been as a basketball player.
The dribble three always been something that you've been good at? Is that something you've worked to get good at?
I think it's something I've had to get a lot better at. just being more comfortable in ISO situations and being more comfortable playing with the ball. Like my freshman year of college was all catch and shoot threes. There was rarely only one bounce, probably shot fake, one bounce three. So it's a full transition for me to move to this. And I think a lot of people who have kind of evaluated my game since I got to college would say that that's probably my biggest area of growth in that sense. But I think a kudos to the work that I've put in and the coaches and trainers that I've had in my life to see that that's where I can get better.
Just pushing the pace, getting stops and pushing the pace. Me and Andrew didn't exactly do him any favors by getting 2 quick fouls in under 5 minutes. So he played a lot of minutes and he was still so effective. He's incredible. And the way he's able to get guys the ball and step out and shoot and get the ball moving, I think that's what kind of sparked us in the start of the fourth.
Another spark was O'Shea, who hasn't always gotten a lot of playing time. What did he do to impact the game?
Yeah, I mean, it's the consummate professional. He's always staying ready, and when his opportunity comes about, he always takes advantage of it. And that's how you gain a lot of respect around the league, and he's doing a great job of that.
Does going up against Tyrese in practice, is that helpful at all if you're matched up against LaMelo Ball on Wednesday in terms of their skill sets, how they succeed?
Yeah, I mean, Ty is incredibly tough to guard. His ability to get into the paint and his ability to shoot. Usually, one's better than the other, but he's great at doing both. So I feel like that really helps me, and I try to challenge him as well, with how I defend.
You mentioned pushing the pace. I mean, what do you think makes this group good at doing that whenever someone doesn't want you to run? Obviously, Saturday night, Toronto really didn't want you guys to run. What does it take to be able to still push pace when somebody wants to stop you, and what do you guys do with that?
Getting stops on defense. If we're trading buckets, we're never going to be able to get out and run. We might be able to get out and run fast, but their defense is already set. But if we lock in defensively and get stops, there's not too many teams, in my opinion, that can run with us.
You just wrapped up a 4-game homestand that took over about 2 weeks of time, and this will be your first. You only had 1 game in a week. So as a vet, do you feel energized by the time that you've had off?
Yes and no. Chasing my 1.5-year-old son around, the legs still get, a little tired here and there, but no, I'm just kidding. I feel like the time off has been beneficial for all of us, but we're hungry to play more games, and that's the best thing about the NBA. When you have a stretch like that, there's usually a stretch around the corner that's game after game after game, and we know that's coming up, so we have to be ready.
TJ, what was your biggest takeaway from that halftime, kind of heart-to-heart Saturday night?
Kind of just woke us up. We were just going through the motions and playing the way Toronto wanted us to play. We knew they were going to try to throw a whole bunch of different defenses at us, slow the game down offensively, and we played right into their hands. We turned it over a lot, and like I said, played right into their hands. And we set the tone in the second half and played how we wanted to play, and the outcome was a lot different.
How much do you feel like situations like that is kind of what we expect this season in terms of growth moments, teaching points, things you guys can go off of with such a young group?
Yeah, we're not going to start off great every game. And the fact that, a team like us that's very young came out and adjusted in the second half and showed maturity, that's obviously a step in the right direction. I think I've said this all year, is you can't count us out of any games. You would think with a young group, it's just not our night, so everyone's going to kind of get selfish and get theirs. That's just not in this group's DNA, and we keep proving it game after game.
How would you describe the vibe of this team now that you kind of are a month in?
Super positive, energetic, selfless. Everyone wants to see the other guy succeed and help in any way we can on both ends. And when you got all 15 guys like that, it's a recipe for success.
How much do you feel like what you do with that second unit becomes then contagious with running the floor, pushing it, free-flowing, no play calls?
I feel like both groups do it. Ty gets that group out and running, and I've been doing that since I've got here. And, the guys I play with, credit to them, they get out and run, and, we have an identity. We just get out and run, play incredibly hard on defense, and, try to give the starters a breather and get the lead up.
Rick was talking about how he's barely calling play calls, haven't really done that much. How does that kind of compare to what you're used to in your first half dozen years in the league? Is this the fewest maybe you've dealt with?
Yeah, I think so. I look over at him here and there, when there's a dead ball situation, but, when we're out and running, we got guys all over the floor that can make plays, so it makes it easy for the point guard to kind of just get off it and we can go make a play.
Does that become maybe the most important trait anymore for players? One of them is just reading and reacting to situations on both ends.
Yeah, I feel like that's playoff basketball. You're not going to be able to look at Rick and ask for a play call every time down. You got to go out there and make something happen, create a problem, and get the ball moving, and we're doing a good job of that.
It looked to me like in the fourth quarter there was a point that Tyrese was really frustrated, and you looked at him and said, "What's wrong?" And did you pick him up and boost his spirits a little bit?
I don't really remember that, but anytime I see that he's frustrated or down, I kind of just try to get in his ear and tell him, I always am reminding him that this group goes as far as you take us. You can't take a play off, you can't get frustrated. As selfish as that sounds, like, he's a human being, but he snapped right out of it and won us the game like he has all year, and just a special player.
It's not exactly about individual stats, but him now leading the league in assists, pretty impressive.
Yeah,
First full year here.
The thing is, I catch myself looking up there and he, like, it's just effortless. The way he's able to get people the ball. Like I said, it looks like he's not even trying. It just comes so natural for him to get people the ball. And you look up there and you see 15 assists, and what's he averaging, 20 and 10? It's just, I just said it, he's a special, special player.
And then even behind you with Andrew, he's had to come up and had some big influential time, I think, with you guys. What have you kind of observed from him in the first month?
Andrew or?
Andrew, yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's as steady as they come. You never know if he's rattled or bothered, whether he's doing well or he's not playing well, and he's played well all year. From the moment he's gotten here, he's been great. Getting people the ball, hitting open shots, defending. We put him on Tyler Hero at the end of the Miami game as a rookie, and he gets a stop. Like, he's been super, super special. He's a great teammate and going to be playing at a high level in this league for a long, long time.
Rick keeps using the word mature about his game, old school about his game. And what are some things from him that you see that you don't see in rookies that are usually something you see from a much older player?
Yeah, talking about Andrew in particular, the way he uses his body, he's not going to blow by you with his quickness or athleticism, but he knows how to get to his spots and get people the ball. And when you think he's in trouble, he kind of lowers his shoulder, and the defender mistimes a jump, and he has a weird layup. I feel like that's the old school that Rick's talking about. But I feel like it's just smooth. He knows where his spots are. He knows how to play the game. He's really smart, and he just does that at a high level.